there's good news and there's bad news. The bad news is I just wasted 5 seconds of your time. The good news is that we now have a new lavalier microphone. I installed Magic Lantern on the video camera, so hopefully the quality of this video is going to be better. Welcome back to Tech City. This is Brandon coming back to you guys today with a review of the Enermax Fulmo-Q PC case. Now this is a mid-size ATX case. It retails at $30, and the price tag immediately aroused my curiosity, so to speak, as I thought, well, $30 Enermax, man, what am I going to expect here? So when I got this case, I was surprised. I am ultimately going to be recommending this case. However, there are a few negatives, and I will get them out of the way with first. And that is that the case it is lightweight, and that can be a benefit, and I'll talk about that a bit later, but it is flimsy. It does feel like, literally, it does feel a little bit cheap, and it does feel really light and flimsy. Like I could literally, if I put pressure on this, I could bend it with my thumbs. So it does feel cheap. If you don't like flimsy cases, then you will not like this case. If you're looking for a more durable case, then I recommend you look elsewhere. However, the second negative is that it only comes with one fan installed. Honestly, I would seriously recommend getting at least an additional 2 fans to put on the side panel if you are thinking about using this case. I'd also recommend an additional 1 fan on the front to cool your hard drives or your SSDs. That's optional, but yeah, I'd at least recommend getting an additional 2 fans. So looking at the front of the case here, we can see that it's meshed in steel. It also has one USB 2 port, one USB 3, one mic in, one headphone out, one reset, and power button. Now the good thing about the power button is the light turns on when the computer's off. So if you're using this for a home theater PC and you're watching movies in the dark, I actually prefer this because you won't have any annoying lights going while you're watching your movie. Now there is 3 models of this case. One of them is the U32, which features 2 USB 3 ports on the front. One of them is the U3, which this model actually is the U3, which only has 1 USB 3 on the front. And one is the U2, which features only 2 USB 2 ports on the front. So looking at the rear of the case here, we can see that there is ample room for cable management. This is one thing that I love about this case already. There's a big cutout here for installing a CPU cooler as well. There's also ample places here to put zip ties and cable management with ease. Also, the side panel itself features a big cutout here. So if you are indeed going to do a lot of cable management, especially like I have with a 650 watt power supply that is non-modular, it allows for ease of use and ease of cable management. Really good feature with this case. I was really impressed with the cable management. It was so easy to do. Even though this was like a 2-minute job, it was actually really easy to do. So looking at the rear of the case here, we've got options. We've got 2 cutouts here for water cooling if you need to use water cooling, though I don't see how a water cooler would fit in this case. You've also got the cutout here for the 120mm fan, which comes included with the case. You've also got here this is where your motherboard goes with your input-output plate. And you've also got an intuitive design here where the actual screw-ins for the PCI Express lanes are outside of the case. So I actually really like this because I can just put my screwdriver in and from the outside of the case, and it's actually really easy. I don't have to worry about screws falling into the case and falling on the motherboard. Now down the bottom, as you can see here, there is a rear-mounted bottom-mounted power supply, which goes in and out with ease as well. So let's take a look inside the case now. This is probably the best part of the case. It's certainly my favorite part. As we can see here straight away, there is an extended cutout here for extra long graphics cards. So if you decide to take this SSD backplate or the side plate out, you can then put in a graphics card up to 40 centimeters, I believe, which is absolutely massive. So they've really done, I really like that idea. If you decide to keep this, then you can mount an additional 3 SSDs in here. Looking above that, you can mount 2 5.25 inch drive bays, which for me personally, I like having the option to mount 2 5.25 inch drive bays. Some people like only 1, some people like none. But yeah, for me, 2's okay, it's fine. Looking here though, we can see here we've got cutouts here for 4 3.5 inch mechanical bays as well. And also down the bottom, this is another thing that I really like with this case. I've paid attention to detail. We can also mount an 2.5 inch SSD right down the bottom of the case. Out of sight, out of mind. like that. That's exactly what I've done here, and it looks pretty cool. To the left of here, we've got a cutout here for a fan if you need it, and also at the front of the case, sorry, I forgot to mention, you can mount two 120mm or 80mm fans at the front. Down the bottom here to the side of the 3.5-inch dry bay, you can mount one 120mm or 80mm fan. However, I've used it to put all the extra cables, since this is a non-modular power supply. I've used it to put all the extra cables in an NVIDIA bag, where that looks clean, and if you need to use those cables in the future, you can. Looking at here, there's two fans here, which are pretty much going to go back on the side panel. As I said before, they're hardwired into the cable management, and I couldn't really be bothered undoing it and doing it again. But looking here now, we've got here a full, like you can just see here, the room is absolutely, it's really good for a $30 case. I like it better than the Z3 because there's more room to move around here with cable management. We've got a cutout here, we've got 3 cutouts here, and it's just so spacious inside this case. That's one thing I like about it. Now, another thing too is that the motherboard, it went on with ease. The screws are already pre-mounted, so if you've got a full-size ATX board, this is actually a micro ATX board, but if you've got a full-size full-size ATX board, you can just put it in the case and screw it up and you're good to go. I had to actually take some screws out and then put the micro ATX board in. So it will fit mini ATX, micro ATX, and ATX. So it will fit the 3 form factors there. So in conclusion and closing out on this case, I will say that yes, it is flimsy, it does feel pretty cheap, but it just comes feature packed, and I don't see anyone coming into a problem. And if you're like me and all you just do is build a desktop PC and then it just sits there and it doesn't get moved, then this case is going to be fine. I mean, if you're the type of guy who rages and occasionally kicks and boots his PC, then this case is probably not for you. You'll probably be putting a few dents in it, and it'll probably break. However, one thing I forgot to mention about the flimsiness, it also means that the case is really light. And so if you're like me and you're probably going to be shipping this thing internationally, or you're going to be carrying it around a lot, then the lightweightness of this case makes it a really good case for transportability or moving around. So I really like that. It's just really cool. Ultimately, I was just really impressed with it. It was a cool looking case, a very sleek, slim looking case, and it just came with loads of options and ease of access, which would really impress me about this case. So ultimately, I'm going to be highly recommending this product for $30. Though if you do decide to buy it, please do yourself a favor and at least get 2 fans and put them on the side panel for nice airflow into the case. And that's about it, guys. If you have any questions about the Fulmo-Q, please leave a comment in the comments section below. If you haven't already, hit that like button, and I'll be coming back to you guys soon with a review on one of those power supplies that I don't want to review. Anyway, I'll catch you guys with a tech review very soon. Peace out for now, and let me know about the video quality too. Is it good? Is it better? And also the audio quality. Anyway, I'll catch you guys very soon. Peace out for now. Bye.